Hey everyone, Dr. Frunke here, and welcome back to my knife operating room. In front of us is the Vitesse Design Morpheus. You can go back on my channel and see the knife consult that I did on this, and I wanted to go ahead and take this guy apart. Joel has said that it's okay for me to go ahead and take a look on this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and just start taking it apart. You're going to need a T8 Torx bit, and that is it. The whole thing has T8 hardware, so that's something that I really like right off the bat. Gonna get right into it here. Very, very simple construction here. Just a set of screws on this side. Comes apart very easily. Again, this thing is built by WE Knives, so thank God we're not seeing the WE hardware on here, but they do have very nice Torx hardware here. This is done in stainless steel on this particular prototype right here. On the actual model, it's going to be done in titanium. So what we have here is what looks like a ball bearing system with some thrust washers or whatever you want to call these things. So we're going to take that off. Looks like there's some stainless steel washers that run against the titanium right there. So you don't have to worry about these ceramic ball bearings running against the titanium. That is a concern that some people have sometimes because these ball bearings are so much harder than titanium. They can wear a track into it, and you could theoretically eventually get blade play. So it's actually very nice to see on the inside here that they've done these hardened stainless steel washers right here. So we'll go ahead and take this side apart right here. I'm going to take a look at the pivot. I noticed that when I was taking it apart, this thing was free spinning. It doesn't look like this has been keyed in any significant way. I'm looking around it. No, it really isn't. So you really have to just kind of position the pivot in a certain way, and I see that's maybe why he changed the design here. Perhaps this will be changed. I would strongly recommend, Joel, if you could somehow ask them to make this a keyed design so that this doesn't rotate when you're assembling and disassembling it. So let's go ahead and start putting this guy back together here. This has the stainless steel washer is still right there. I'm going to go ahead and lube this guy up actually because I wanted to see if the action would improve significantly if I were to add a bunch of lube to it. So we're going to see how that goes right here. It's running pretty dry right now actually, so I want to see what this is all about. Okay, throw some lube on there, get these ball bearing washers on there. Let's take a look at the blade here for a second before it goes back together. Nice solid construction right there, a lot of blade material. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. This had a little alcohol, a little rubbing alcohol on it right here. Just clean off any sort of gunk that's built up. Wipe it down with this microfiber cloth. When I do this, I like to add a little bit of oil to the detent track because that seems to be the point of the most sort of friction when the knife is closing in particular. So add a layer there, throw a layer around here, add a little bit on the inside of that pivot right there. And we're going to go ahead and start getting this guy back together. Whoops. That pivot really likes to slide out of there. Okay, here we go. Am I putting this on the right way? I'm going to not do this the right way. People make fun of me when I do these videos because they're like, how are you a surgeon? You seem like you have no idea what you're doing. And well, more or less that's true when it comes to these knives sometimes. I'm just figuring it out like anybody else. Don't think I added any real lubricant to this side, so I'm going to do that here. Add some of this right there. Perfect. Joel, I'm sorry if you don't want this much lube on there. That's too bad because that's the way I do it. So here we go. Because I want to see if this changes significantly, and I think that it might get a whole lot better here once I start putting this back together. This is very easy construction. You know, I'm not really worried about this. I think it's not going to be much of a problem at all. I'm probably putting this together backwards. It has such a unique shape to it that I'm probably putting it all on upside down, which I think that I am, looking at the way that's gone back together. Oh, Lord. It's such a strange blade shape here. No, let's see. Let's see. Come on now. Well, that was stupid. Alright, well, there's grease on there. this right there. Sometimes these things are a bunch of trial and error. This is the first time I've taken this knife apart. Sometimes I should think about rehearsing this before I do it. So you can see that there is a stop pin right here. Go ahead and put it in on this side so I don't have to worry about lining that up. Stop pin is internal right there. Pretty nice construction right there. Very simple, very straightforward. He is going to remove one of these screws from the overall construction at some point. One of these 7 screws, one of these pairs maybe go away at a certain point. Steel screws being magnetized to my screwdriver here. All right, well, that's coming back together very easily. So I like that the, you know, I don't think I really highlighted that there's a channel inside of this titanium backspacer where these are screwing into. Rather than just going into raw titanium. They may have some steel inserts in there. That's coming together right there. And the pivot screw, last but not least. Alright. And just like that, the knife is reassembled. So let's get the pivot lined up the right way. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah. So again, this needs to be keyed, because what I'm going to have to do is rotate this into position, make sure that it's in the right orientation, spin it right there, and then lock that in place with my finger, and then close it down tight and hope that it doesn't rotate. Good. Looks like that worked. So that's got the correct orientation. Let's check the centering here. A little bit off still. Let's see if it just takes a little. Oh yeah, it's over tightened. That's the thing. So you can actually over tighten the knife. So right there, that's back on center right there. So I'll probably need to Loctite that. Pivot's rotated again. That's a bit of a thing that I think needs to be fixed in terms of the assembly right there. Let's see how we feel. Okay, got that. Disengage the lock. Just the slightest hair of blade wiggle there, just to lock that down a little bit. No blade wiggle, pretty much on center. That's going to take some tuning, I think. Again, this is a prototype. I don't want this to be indicative of the quality of the finished product. This is definitely an experimental model. Surely they'll have all of the quirks worked out of it when it's a full production model right there. So it already is incredibly a lot smoother. Wow, it just drops close like that. So my theory is confirmed. This knife can be unbelievably, impossibly smooth. Look at this right now. Wow, it really feels like night and day there. That's incredible. Okay, so yeah, it makes me like this knife even more. We need to get a keyed pivot so that this doesn't rotate, so that I don't have to go ahead and fix this again. Let's see. I think the ball bearing solution on the inside with the washers against the titanium is clever, and I like the way that the backspacer is threaded so that the screws are going into what looks like steel. So nice, clever design right here. Also, maybe some internal milling would be pretty nice. I mentioned that in the full video, just to lighten this guy up a little bit. But once you get this guy lubed up appropriately, unbelievably smooth action, just falls shut, opens with ease. That actually helps the opening and the closing mechanism right there. So very, very much like that. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the surgery down below. Leave some comments. Head over to the INDIEGOGO page and support this knife. If we don't get 200 people supporting this knife will never exist. So thank you guys for watching. This is Dr. Frunky saying take care.